That Rain-Kissed Umbrella, Chapter 9. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Eleanor. If you have not heard the previous 8 chapters of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. If you would like more Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction, you can find it by checking out other videos on this channel and subscribing to stay up to date on the latest parts of your favorite fanfiction. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment in the comment section to help with the YouTube algorithm. Now then, That Rain-Kissed Umbrella. Chloe combed one last layer of mascara through her lashes, humming along to Lizzo playing in the background. Hair toss, check, nails, baby how you feelin'? Good as... Her phone rang, interrupting her song and rhythm. "Hello?" she said, nearly unable to hide her irritation. "Hey, it's Cat Noir," the voice said. A smile tugged at her lips. "Oh, like the famous model? May as well play along with this loophole." "Yeah." She could hear the relief in his voice. "My buddy Adrien wasn't sure if he should call you because you said you didn't want to talk to him, but he wasn't sure where to meet up with you this morning." This silly boy. 7, at the usual place. "Got it." She could hear a smile crack through in Adrien's, Cat Noir's, voice. "See you there." They exchanged goodbyes and hung up, leaving Chloe to contour her lips as she admired how well her highlighter turned out. "Okay, breathe. Your day is going to sound like a Colby Callier song, right, Chloe? Colby Callier energy, not Ariana Grande. Okay, let's go." Truthfully, Chloe didn't know what she expected. Did she want Adrien back? Yes, absolutely, to the point that she couldn't take in oxygen. But it didn't change that she'd been too dependent on him for her happiness. It didn't change that she lost herself trying to keep him clawed to her. It didn't change the lies she'd told and the parts of her she'd betrayed in doing so. And it didn't change the fact that he kissed another girl less than a week after she put them on pause for air. What did she want? What would best case scenario be? Chloe didn't know, but if she couldn't figure it out in the next 13 minutes, she might make a mistake that would either throw her into a painful loop or she'd regret forever. Despite it all, she loved her sunshine boy. And that was the hardest part. Okay. Time to go. For real this time. She forewent a driver, choosing to walk instead. Think, Chloe. Think! What do you want? When you get to the cafe, what is going to happen? Yes, you're going to order a dragon fruit iced tea and, depending on the selection, perhaps a biscotti. But that wasn't what she was worried about. 1,000 steps passed her feet, but she was no closer to an answer as she stood in front of the cafe. Okay, ready or not, here she... "Let me get that for you." Adrien's voice wrapped around her ears as his arms cradled around her body, reaching for the door. The hair on her arms stood up as a tingle ran up her back. All at once, she wished to make contact, for him to hold her, kiss her neck, and tell her everything would be all right, but it wasn't. She couldn't afford that. "I'm good, thanks," Chloe replied, stepping outside of an embrace's distance and grabbing the door for herself. She needed to get a drink before she found herself trying to quench a different kind of thirst. She recognized the pause Adrien gave her as he followed her in, but tried to shrug it off. He was trying to be kind, Chloe. Take it with grace. Your usual order? He asked, approaching the counter as he pulled out his wallet. Yes. She bit back her pride. Give him this, Chloe. You're the one denying him a relationship right now, after all. There was no need to squander his pride further. She slid into her usual seat in front of the window, her back to it. Okay. 20 minutes. 20 minutes without her phone and all attention on Adrien, and then she'd leave with this settled. Yeah, okay. 20 awkward minutes was all she needed to get through. Here, Adrien said, setting the plastic tumbler in front of her before sliding into the opposite chair. She took it, grateful to have something to occupy her hands with as awkward silence passed between them. 20 minutes, Chloe. 20 awkward minutes. Careful! She caught a hint of a laugh in his voice. You don't want to ruin your lipstick. She looked up at him, intending to scowl, but the scene took her off guard. This wasn't as awkward as she expected. In fact, her heart fluttered at the normalcy of this, as though no time had passed between their last kiss and now. A feeling settled in her chest that she hadn't tasted before. How could she describe this? The way the morning light filtered into her sunshine boy's hair. Golden. This moment was golden, and like a bee to pollen, Chloe couldn't help herself. She put her hand on the table, like she used to long ago, when their relationship was innocent of a misconception that tore her apart. She saw his fingers part as his eyes flicked away from hers, then back up again. He was thinking about it. She should know better. She should know not to lure him in like this, especially when she didn't know what she wanted. This almost feels like a dream, Adrien confessed, choosing to adjust his chair and look away instead. Chloe could hear her heart reeling, pumping blood and adrenaline through her veins from the moment she created. As people awkward as he was, Adrien had a talent for de-escalating moments when he noticed them. Chloe couldn't help but admire his profile as his cheekbones turned away from her. How had she not realized he was a model before this? That, and he was Cat Noir, a guy whose proportions she'd studied before sending out PR packages in hopes he'd pick hers to wear for an Instagram shot sometime. What else was hiding in plain sight in her life? As a couple, both of them were blind to the other. Is that proof that they were wrong together? That this breakup is justified? No. Absolutely not, Chloe. Don't you dare think like that. Just because the two of you broke up doesn't mean the time together was wasted. It doesn't mean the memories aren't beautiful. It doesn't mean you weren't a good fit. It just means that life changed paths and you broke up. There was no need for philosophy or psychoanalysis to come into play here. We have yet to see if it's a good one, she said. Her phone buzzed in her purse. A call from Marinette? She sent her to voicemail. The girl came off as a bag of nerves, so unless she had somehow klutzed up their project, she wasn't going to talk to her. The last thing she needed right now was to deal with someone else's anxiety. His eyeline grazed her hand and he rubbed the back of his neck, blinking slowly before raising his chin to look her in the eyes. Oh, come on! That's not fair! The look down, look up thing guys do? That's playing dirty! But it worked. Chloe felt air escape her and had to inhale sharply to compose herself. If she hadn't decided ahead of time to leave her phone in her purse, she would have checked it just to break the moment. "So, how have you—" "Good." Her response came too quickly. "I finished my project on time, which is a miracle in and of itself." "You've always been a hard worker." For some reason, the compliment irritated her. Yes, she was, but it somehow undermined how impressive the timeline for this project was. She wanted to scream at him to ask if he'd ever had 2 days to finish 2 weeks worth of work. "How about you? Are you good?" His temples tensed. "I've been, He looked away in thought. "I want to say I've been good, but I'd be lying." Chloe could hear the hurt in his voice and wanted nothing more than to caress his jawline before pulling him into a hug, but she didn't move. Because of? The question was cruel, and she knew it. This wasn't an act. Adrien missed her in a way she hadn't seen before. Or perhaps he missed the relationship. Either way, her self-discipline was holding onto a thread, beaten away with every heartbeat she had. He sighed, choosing to stare at the ice in his drink instead of her. "I didn't realize a breakup meant losing someone to send fresh memes to," he whispered. The comment made her want to laugh, tainted with a form of sadness or yearning she couldn't identify. That was the most Adrien-like response she could have gotten. But how would she respond? A typical Chloe response? Something kinder? Softer? A response Marinette would give him? A knife stabbed her heart and her blood ran cold. No, Chloe, don't do that. Did you just think Marinette would be more suitable for Adrien? No. No. No! She felt tears prick her eyes, and her mood turned from something traumatizing to that of anger. No. No. She wasn't going to cry here. Not in front of Adrien. Not only would that be the worst misunderstanding of all time, but she wasn't going to let herself get inside her own head like that. Would he and Marinette be good together? Yeah, maybe, but that didn't mean she wasn't a good match for Adrien either. Her phone buzzed again, and this time she didn't ignore it. "What?" she snapped, not bothering to disguise her tone. "Chloe, you've gotta..." It was Marinette, frantic, and most certainly the last person Chloe wanted to be her savior. "You've got to come! Quick!" "What, did you forget a belt or something?" She grabbed her drink and stood up, hoping Adrien would get the hint that she was leaving. Escaping. Early. "No!" She lowered her voice. "Chloe, they're accusing us of plagiarism." The world stopped for a moment as her ears began to ring. "They're what?" "The Hawkmoth brand! They're accusing us of ripping off their design! They put a patent on earlier this week!" Plagiarism? Did she hear that right? That's impossible. They'd worked on it together, and although she would love to brand Marinette a cheater, they passed ideas back and forth and made changes throughout the whole design process. Their design was theirs alone. "Don't freak out," she heard herself say, hollow and foreign. "I'll be there as soon as I can." "You're going?" Adrien asked, catching her hand with eyes that would have convinced her to stay a conversation earlier. "I hate to break it to you, love," Chloe said, knowing her words would come out hurtful. "But right now, my career is more important than an ex-love affair." She couldn't bear to look at him as she turned her back, all but running for the door to find out what happened to her reputation as she entertained rekindling the only flame that ever mattered. Don't look back, Chloe. Don't look back. That is chapter 9. I would normally record some kind of outro here, but I am late for class, so I will catch you guys for chapter 10. Bye!